Welcome! So today I'm going to be doing a guide for ToA 100 for ATH'TAROS, which is the other boss besides Lyrith. I did a guide with her a couple weeks ago. So we're going to go ahead and do a guide for this boss, and then that way you guys that are struggling, you can see exactly what to do. So not only did I find a lag-free solution for recording, I am also starting streams. Streams will be starting on Saturday. I might do one earlier this week depending on if I get all my work done for classes. But don't miss out. It is going to be on Saturday. The time has not been decided yet. It is still to be announced, but I will be announcing that. If you guys are following me on Twitter, I will be announcing it on there first, and then I'll probably announce it towards Friday. But every single Saturday for an undetermined amount of time, but we're going to be doing every Saturday. We're going to be streaming for at least a few hours, but we're going to be doing different things from Arena to Trial of Ascension Hard, sometimes even summons. So don't miss out. Streams, Twitch, links are in the description, of course. Stay tuned. Now, we are ready for the Trial of Ascension 100 guide. Let's get ready. Okay, so we're ready to start Trial of Ascension 100. Let's go ahead and load it up. I tried out this team, it worked. It was a little bit slow and I didn't like it, so we're gonna go ahead and show you basically what is the rough idea on how to beat this boss. Of course, I have my monsters, you guys have your monsters, so don't listen it for the exact monster that you're using. Think about the type of role the monster is in, and then use monsters that you have that can support that role. So Veramos, he's an HP leader skill. That's very helpful because the boss can do some high damage, especially because he dishes out armor break. So we're going to definitely want some sort of cleanser like Konamaya or immunity or Veramos. I love using Veramos because he dishes out dots as well. And that's really useful for taking out the tower on the right. So I'm going to use Veramos. You guys can just as well use Konamaya. Next, I'm going to use Bella. That's basically my main source of heal. It is definitely one of the best monsters for the stage. You definitely want defense break. You have to have defense break, otherwise if you don't do a certain amount of damage, every time you do damage he recovers a certain amount of the damage as HP. So if you don't do that much damage, he's going to just heal it back pretty much. You got to do a really big amount of damage, and then that way he won't heal that same amount back, and that's basically how you decrease his health bar. Next, we're going to want our damage dealer. Obviously I don't really like using Theomars on the stage, but you could just as well use him. I like to use some type of monster that deals really nice damage, single target damage. You don't really need to do AoE damage, and the multipliers are better for single target. Any type of monster will do on the stage. You could just as well use Hua. Hua works perfectly too. Or you could do some damage-based Vertihil, but you should at least have around 15 to 20,000 HP. My tower has a really high amount of defense, so I can get away with 13,000, but he even comes close to dying sometimes. Then you're going to want some type of buff increase for the attack bar or speed decrease. It's better to have an attack bar increase just because the boss removes the speed decrease. So Spectra, in this instance, it wouldn't be as good on this stage, but I'm going to go ahead and bring him because that's like the only alternative I really have then other than Vertihil and what is the other one? Orion. And I know you guys don't like it when I use non-farmable monsters, so we're going to go ahead and use Spectra, and then I'll just show you guys how to implement that. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and use Beretta. Beretta is actually really nice for this stage. He can decrease the attack bar of the boss and on the right crystal, and then he can apply dots, and you really want those dots to get rid of the right crystal pretty fast. So now that we're ready, let's go ahead and begin. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we apply anything that we have as far as debuffs go. We want to get rid of those Acasis as fast as possible. Why? Because they apply that little shield and it can be really annoying, and it just makes it really slow. Alright, now that we made it to the second part, we're going to apply our speed decrease. If you have any buffs to apply, make sure you apply them. Now for this part, we definitely want to get rid of those Vanessas. They apply defense break, and that can hit really hard, especially when the Death Knights go right after her. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from right to left. You don't need to do it, you could do any order, but I want to go right to left, and we're just going to try to get rid of them as fast as possible. If they do revive, that's not a big deal. We can get rid of the revived one. It's really not that big of a deal, but we just want to prevent them from applying defense break. That's the main thing we want to do. So this one's probably going to apply. Okay, so she didn't use it, so we got lucky. especially because this one's about to go. And it resisted, so that could have been bad. I'm going to go ahead and use Bella's heal just because I really want to get my attack bar up, and I know Bella will violent proc, but Bella always violent procs. So now that we're on the boss stage, I'm actually going to show you what's the main strategy here. I always like to get rid of the right tower. You don't have to if you have really good monsters, but I always like to get rid of that right tower. I'm going to go ahead and use Squall when I can so I can increase my attack speed on tower and get more attacks off. So basically what we're going to want to do is just keep attacking that right tower with everything that we've got. He's basically the main focus. It's better if you don't apply any defense break or anything like that, just because he doesn't really take much damage. That right crystal will not take any damage. It's just mainly the dots. That's all you can really do at this point. So let's just keep applying the continuous damage effects, and once we take that out, we'll go from there. So we can't actually do really much any more damage to that right crystal. It's pretty much done. I could keep hitting it with tower, but it's dead. I'm pretty sure it's dead. So the only thing to do now is to go straight for the box. Now you could technically take out that right crystal. We don't need to because we've got a buff remover. So let's just keep on nuking down, and then when we get to the end part, then I'll discuss the overall strategy, and then I'll even show you an auto team. Okay, so we're here to the end. If you didn't notice, my tower died. Don't do what I did. Bring a second healer. I usually bring Jasun and just auto this stage, but I wanted to try it with farmable monsters, and I don't have a second healer that's farmable. I know, I really need to ruin my Almond, but it's just I don't have it. So if you have two healers, definitely run double healer, because he can do some serious damage if you don't get Bella Dion's heal off fast enough. But pretty simple, you know. So if she withholds the red one and we get the blue and the green one, she'll counter attack with Mind Break on every incoming attack if she doesn't push the red one out. So that basically means she will remove one buff that you have on you. So any like attack buff or any defense buff or stuff like that, she'll remove one every time she counterattacks. If she has the blue one, she actually